Hey Tribe, for this month's patch, we're going to be working on defense, Mark II. So we're going to be going over a lot of drills, not just head movement, but there's a lot of other things that go into defense, such as regular movement and then also catches and blocks. So hopefully you'll learn a lot and have fun with these drills. All right, so for one of the drills that we're going to be using through this patch, it's going to be the slip line. Now there are a couple of different variations for this that you're going to be using as you go through this patch. One of them is going to be up in the ring, where you're going to be shadow boxing around the slip line, and the other one you're going to be on a heavy bag. But in both situations, you want that wrap or that string sitting right on top of your shoulder, right? So that gives you a good place to roll to. And what you're going to do through these rounds is you're going to be hitting free bag, but I want to see you guys frequently rolling, frequently using and getting off of that straight line as you shoot. So for this next one, we have our defensive shadow boxing drill. I want to see you guys do this with your gloves on. Okay, what you're going to do is you're going to put together a 3-punch combo or a set of 3-punch combos. You're going to practice throwing those combos and then defending those combos. Now this can be a very, very good practice because it makes us consciously think about what our opponents are throwing and how we would respond in that specific circumstance. Remember, this doesn't just mean I'm moving my head. I can use my catches and I can also change the positioning with my feet. All right, so for this next one, I've got Rachel's help, and we're going to kind of go through our slip and pivot cone drill. Now, footwork is something that we have to drill. When I'm using footwork in the ring effectively, this has to be automatic, right? This can't be something that I'm thinking of. But it also plays a huge role in our defense, all right? Now, one of the things that we can add to our pivots in and our pivots out is going to be a little bit more movement in our head. And what I mean by this is I want us to slip out of the way as we do this. Okay, so what you're going to do with that pivoter for this drill in particular is you're going to get yourself lined up right on that cone. Now a cone symbolizes somebody's front foot. And I'm going to practice pivoting in and pivoting out. Awesome. And then Rachel, for this one, I want to see you take a step and pivot in front of that cone. Step, pivot. Good. Make sure it's just to that 40 or that 90-degree angle change. So I'll be right here. Step, pivot, stop. Good. Now pivot out. Step, pivot, stop. Good, okay? Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our head offline as we do this, okay? So I'm going to step with my pivot, I'm going to slip, and I'm going to pivot. Good. Now we're going to go the opposite way. So now you're going to slip, pivot. Good. Try and make sure that you reset right around that cone every time that you do it, all right? Awesome, perfect. And you're going to do that back and forth. And then once you're comfortable with that, what you're going to do as you slip is shoot your jab, all right? So whether I'm pivoting out or pivoting in, I'm going to get used to throwing that jab at the same time, okay? So now I'm going to take my step, slip, throw that jab, pivot. I'm going to do that same thing right over that lead side. Yep, making sure that I'm targeting an opponent right in front of me. For this next drill that you guys are going to be doing, it is a shadow boxing drill where you're shooting off of the guard. Now what that means when you're shooting off of the guard is that you're shooting from a high guard position. This is really useful when you're fighting in the pocket or when you're in a solid range where you and your opponent can both hit each other, or when you're fighting on the inside. So we're going to get in our high guards right in front of this mirror. I want to see both those gloves come right up over your eyes. I'm pushing my hands open, okay? Now always remember our guard has 2 points of contact, my hands and my elbows need to be in contact. So I'm gonna round forward and down, and we're shooting off of the guard, okay? So when you guys are doing this drill, I just wanna see you guys throw freestyle, whatever you guys want to throw, okay? But I need to see you guys make sure that you're coming back to your guard and also that you're shooting off the guard. You're not dropping and throwing, okay? So I'm from this high guard position. I'm gonna walk forward. 1, I'm coming right back to that high guard every time I throw. Even if it's a body shot, right? I wanna come right back to that high guard, making sure that I'm well protected, working my way in. Another drill that we're introducing in this patch is actually one of the old ones that we've already run before. This is our head movement triangle. Now this drill is absolutely phenomenal at helping us work on our head movement, getting our head off the straight line. And for that, we're gonna have Kylan introduce it.
Another drill I like to implement, whether this is into my shadow boxing or my warm-ups that helps me with defense, I call it the slip triangle, okay? So if you ever notice when you watch boxers, their head is never stagnant, right? It's always moving in kind of these erratic patterns, making them a much harder target to hit. This is one thing that I've used that helps kind of train that head movement. So how this is gonna work, essentially, if you have a mirror, you can draw this on a mirror to kind of help you see. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna visualize it, because you can do that as well. So I'm gonna put a triangle in front of my head, here, 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 and here. 1, 2, and 3. The numbers are important. Make sure you number the angles of your triangle. So again, here's mine in front of me. 1, 2, and 3. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a list of combinations for head movements. So maybe next to it I write 1, 2, 1. What that would mean is, so here's my triangle. My head is in the center of it. Slip my head to 1, come back to center, slip my head to 2, come back to center, drop my head to 3. Right? So if the combo is 1, 2, 1 for the defense triangle, I'm going to go 1, 2, 1. If the combination is 1, 3, 1, I'm going to go 1, 3, 1. I can make it even more erratic. I can go 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. And the goal is to implement those short head movements, make them fast, erratic, and you can incorporate them into even longer combinations. But again, the number system is important. My triangle, 1, 2, 3. Head always starts in the center between 1 and 2. 1, 2, and 3.
All right, so let's talk about the difference between smart counters and conventional counters. Now what a smart counter is this is a counter that's coming off the same side that I just caught off of. So I've got Rachel helping me out again right here. Now if she has her hands up in a high guard position and I throw my 3 up toward her head and then we'll pause, right? If I pause right here, okay, she just caught that punch off of her guard. Now let's say I'm a good boxer and this hand is up on my face, okay? So this hand's up on my face. She knows that there's an opening down 1/2 of my body, right? And what I want her to do is throw with the hand that she just caught with. So she catches that 3. Now what I want to see is a 2 straight down the pipe. Boom. And then she's going to catch me on the chin, right? Now the thing that she has to do, or the thing that she has to watch out for when she does this, all she has to worry about is beating this hand back to my chin. So let's say she catches that again. She comes right here, and then she targets that 2 right down the center, right? Now it's just a race between how quickly her 2 goes out and how quickly my hand gets back to my face, all right? She's more likely to win that race. All right. Next, we're going to be getting into our conventional counters. Now, for conventional counters, just like with smart counters, our guard is extremely important. I still need to make sure that I have my hands up. But let's say I'm pretty new to boxing and I end up dropping my right hand when I throw my 3. So every time I throw my 3, it looks like this. Dropping that hand every single time that I throw, okay? This is something that Coach Rachel can take advantage of, right? She can keep her right hand up, but if she knows that every time I throw my 3, I drop this hand, she can respond and hit me with a killer 3 right down the center. Now, the reason that these are called conventional counters is because they're harder to train, right? It's very easy for me to train a smart counter. Say, okay, when you catch with this hand, I want you to throw with that same hand, right? It's a little bit more tricky for people to look for these openings that are very unique depending on the boxer that you're working with. But either way, we need to make sure that our guard is in really, really good shape. All right, so this is our conventional counter drill. Now what this does for me is this ensures that my guard is staying intact when I throw punches, all right? So what you're going to do is you're going to have a buddy. One of you guys is going to have a foam noodle. The other person is going to have their gloves on, okay? If you're the one wearing your gloves, you're the one who gets the little signature, gets this passed off, all right? But what you're going to do is you're going to practice throwing off of one side and catching that noodle off of the opposite side at the same time. And then what you're going to do, honey, is you're going to make Sarah keep that hand up on her face as she throws, all right? Now, what Sarah is going to do is she's going to throw a punch off of just her lead side, or just the opposite side, okay? Just like that. And every time she throws a punch, you're going to use that noodle and make her keep that hand up in place, all right? So let's start with just a 1, 3. 1, 3, good, awesome. Now I just want you to throw free bag, pretty slow paced with just your lead side for now, okay? Awesome, and then for that drill, make sure that you repeat that on both sides. So you'll start with just your odd punches and end with your evens. All right, now we're going to be working on our smart counters. Now this one is going to be initiated by the person with the pool noodle. So that person is going to make contact with their partner, the one with the gloves on. And as soon as they feel that contact, what they're going to do is they're going to throw with a corresponding punch. Okay, so you're gonna do this on the odds, and then you're going to do this for the evens. Now, if I feel it in the upper part of my guard, what I wanna see you guys do is shoot your jab straight off the guard, okay? If you feel it on the lower part of your guard, all I wanna see you guys do is shoot a 5 straight up the middle, all right? Now, if you feel it off your upper trail side, I just wanna see a 2, and if you feel it off your lower trail side, I wanna see that 4 straight up the center. All right, so that is our second defense patch. Now what we want to remember when we're working defense is the 3 different tools that we have. One of them is going to be movement, the second one is going to be our guard or catching, and then the third is going to be head movement. By employing all 3 of these tools, we become far better boxers, and this patch will help you develop those skills.